Straw Hut Media.
Hey Heartbreakers, I'm back from Greece. I'm feeling refreshed and ready to start this new chapter of the podcast with new guests and a soon-to-be new co-host. And, you know, the episodes are just going to get better and better. So make sure you subscribe to wherever you find your podcasts, which is YouTube, Apple, all the above, Spotify. You guys are going to love this episode. It's with my favorite tarot card reader of all time, Lauren. She's been with me for a couple of years now, so stay tuned. All right, Heartbreakers. Today, probably going to be my favorite episode. No offense, Dr. Kelly. I know you're still here, but Lauren, I hired Lauren, what was it, 2 years ago for one of my friend's birthday parties. And it was on Halloween, or it was like around Halloween or something like that. And I was like, let's get some tarot card readers. Yours was so accurate about my life. It like tripped me out for like a long time. And then now me and Lauren do FaceTime calls kind of frequently. How many times have I used you? Like a good 4 or 5, I feel like. She's always right. And it's just like, I just love it. Like, you're always right, scary right. But it's never like, I like that you don't ever talk negative. Like, even if it is slightly negative, like, you don't scare me. You know what I mean? Like,
because there's no
like,
good or bad.
Oh.
It's like showing you the path.
Clarity, right? That's what I try to tell people too.
Yeah.
So yes, I know her from 2 years ago. I mean, remember when we used to dig through the guys that I was seeing?
Yes.
And then yes, literally each guy would start seeing a guy and I would book a call with her. We'd dig through him, know everything about him. I'd be like, never mind. You know, like before they even tell me about themselves, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I want to do a little reading.
Okay.
Are you ready? Or
Yeah,
should we
sure.
wait a little bit? Or I don't know. I get nervous before them.
So getting a reading, the most important thing, and the thing is, like, there's one thing to like know tarot cards and there's another thing to be a psychic. So I'm a psychic medium. So we read the cards, but you can actually read, like, I have dice, I have cards, I have all kinds of things that you can use.
How'd you know that you could do this?
So since I was like my earliest memories, 3-4 years old, seeing spirits and deceased people. And I grew up in New Orleans, so the occult was around, although I grew up very Catholic. And so there was always like this internal, like, struggle between like, which direction do I go? Although I was very curious. And then I got tarot cards. I was like 12 years old, my first tarot cards.
Who did your family buy them for? You know, right? Because they're Catholic.
Well, they were really open-minded, my parents. Okay. They were artists. And so they were when I told them I saw things and I felt things, they would be like, draw a picture of it, or what was it? And they helped me open up to it. I was always like really scared of people thinking I was crazy because my life is like pretty psychedelic in general. Like, I see things and feel things that other people can't see. And so I was like, are people going to believe me when I'm reading them? But the accuracy is like insane.
I know.
And that's when I learned, like, I can see the future. Like, and it's like, should I do that or should I not do that? And it's like, does that help people or does that not help people? And what I found is that when I do tell someone something that's going to happen, it gives them some level of awareness that they're more aware of the situation and their circumstance. And they always come back to me like so grateful that I gave them the information and even like really crazy things, like certain dates when something's going to happen or someone's going to call you. And I don't know why I can do that. But you can do that too. I mean, we can learn how to do that together.
I know you say that. She thinks that I can do that. I mean, I do. I don't see things, but like something, and nothing tells me in my head, but like it will be very specific things. I'll be like, oh no, this person's about to do this. And I got to be careful sometimes what I say out loud. I don't know why, but I can like down to like not dates, but almost, and like just very specific things. So yeah, I'm super into it. But can you see, like, how sometimes people are talking about how like I saw this one, it was like an Uber driver and he was like, asked the girl to get out of the car because he was like, you have too many, like I could see dark spirits that follow you. And she ended up being, what are those people that like when somebody dies, they're in the whatever thing, they got to clean them out. Is that a morgue? Amor.
Oh, like she had an attachment.
Yeah, and she was like, well, I actually like am like one of those people that clean the people out when they're dead and get them ready for their funerals. And he's like, oh, that's why you have like 200. Like he literally was saying that. So.
Well, I was like, so we're light workers, right? Or generally you want to bring light to darkness. And so you don't want to be like scared of the dark. You want to confront the dark. And so I get curious about it. So I'll ask it. I'll be like, spirit of darkness. Well, first you confirm that's where it comes from. And so you just ask it. You just say, spirit, or if you feel like you have something that you've attached to you or to somebody else, you'll say, spirit, where do you come from? And I've done this with clients and they've been like, one of them responded like, oh, I heard Dallas. He says he's from Dallas. They'll tell me they can start to hear the spirit.
Wow.
And so I'll say, spirit, where do you come from? I come from the darkness. And then you say, well, spirit, why are you here? I'm here to keep you small. Well, why do you want to keep me small? Because I'm small, because I did something that I can't be forgiven for. And that's why they're in the dark. So you become the light, the person to bring it into the light then. So you say, spirit, there's no reason for you to be scared. I'm here with you now, and I'm going to take you to a place of unconditional love and light, and you turn the darkness into the light. And then that spirit's been enmeshed, it's been attached to you. Now it's in light consciousness.
Wow.
And so you ask it, do you have any wisdom for me now that you're in the light? And I'll tell you 10 out of 10 times, my client will say, all they hear is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I heard a voice one time and I was in a really bad situation and I was like praying like hard and I was like, please like help me. Cause like the person in front of me like felt like a demon. Like I could tell by his eyes. And I did hear somebody say, I'm going to do more than just help you. And ever since that day, my life has been like,
of course, Sapphire.
Like, no, I'm being serious. I'm being so serious. Like, when I think about it, it literally gives me chills because I did hear it and I was like, am I crazy? Like, I was praying so hard and I was like, yeah, it literally said, I'm going to do more than just help you.
Yeah.
Scary, right? Not scary.
Well, you don't want to be, because what happens when you're scared of a monster and you like freak out and you act freaked out? Like you want to treat it like it's a person standing in the room and you confront it and you ask it and get curious and you stand in your power. I've definitely been around, especially social situations where someone is just like totally taken over by the dark. And I want to get the hell away from them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, I know. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want
it to attach to you.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to like, they will suck my energy, right? Yeah. Like that's their whole.
That's what a vampire is. Cause that's another thing that I learned about spirituality. Like vampires are real, but they're sucking your soul and your energy. It's not like in the movies, obviously. Like they don't suck actual blood.
Well, and that's why awareness is so important because you want to fortify yourself with the empowerment structure so you can be in a state of presence and not be affected by people's energy. So say you are empowered and you're protected, you can sense that person and they won't even be able to stand around you.
Yeah.
They'll end up on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
They'll end up leaving, or you can actually like even push people out of a room.
I've been,
energetically.
Yeah. No, I have done that before where I'm like, I'm not letting this person come close to me. And I can feel them like kind of hovering around and I'm just like, no, not letting it in. That's what I just keep telling myself.
The reason why I even started using tarot cards, because as a medium, being born that way, I was super skeptical of everything, just like everybody else. And I was like, well, they're not psychic and that's not real. And if you have to use tools, then that's not really psychic. But then I wanted to know if I could hear the messages myself. What about for me in my life? And can anyone tell me like what I can tell for other people? And how can I tell the difference?
Yeah.
And using the tools in the tarot was so helpful in bringing awareness to my own life and my energy. And then you learn, then you start reading people and it's unbelievable the messages that you can get.
Lauren got me these tarot cards.
Yes.
Which I'm going to show them off. So they need to be cleansed, right? Or
So
how do you cleanse them?
So I have the same ones, right?
I don't know how to shuffle that.
So this is what you want to do. So you have the deck. You want to knock it. So you go. You knock.
It doesn't matter how many times, or
no, you can just knock it once. I knock it a couple times. And then you want to touch every card.
Okay.
And you might say something like, I cut and clear all negative energy and bring in the white light. I infuse these cards with pure divine light and love. I ask our guides, ascended masters, our angels to help us to clearly understand the messages that we receive through these cards, through our thoughts, words, visions.
You always say when you're doing my readings, rid me of my ego.
Oh, yeah.
I always say
I'll say, Spirit, please rid me of my ego so I can be a clear and clean voice for Spirit.
Still going.
It's okay. This is your initiation into the coven.
Yeah. Right?
The door is now opening. Please infuse them with pure divine light and love. Then, so we'll shuffle. So you can cut the deck in half. Do you know how to shuffle?
Mm-mm. I just go like this, literally.
So you can do it this way.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I'm not doing that first round.
You can do your way, my way, either way.
Okay, let's try it. Like this, no? Is that how you had your fingers? Or
So in like this,
am I doing it or not?
the thumb on the top.
Okay.
The thumb is on the top, the middle. Yep, that's right. And then you, look at you.
Woo-hoo!
Great job. You have to have strong hands, you know. And then you cut the deck in 3 and then put them back together. And then just take your top card. Wow.
Not the tower.
It's okay.
No way.
Oh my gosh, that's you. Queen of Pentacles.
Does it matter if it's upside? It matters, right? If it's
I
upside.
don't read reversals.
Okay.
You can, and I can give you like a resource, a link that like helps you understand them.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't. You're going to tell me. Right?
Yeah. Well, so you pulled the Queen of Pentacles, which is who you are. You are September 1st.
Yeah.
Right? You're a Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the Virgin Queen.
That's me.
She is, Mother Gaia, right? Like, so she's like the Earth Mother and taking care of yourself, taking care of your home, being nurturing. But that card would represent you in the deck.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
does the tower represent me?
Does it?
Well, so...
Or is it me?
Well, so the tower is like the crumbling away of untruth. Like enlightenment is a destructive process.
No, I remember the tower. I remember one of the first readings that you ever did for me, there was a tower and I remember you telling me like what was going to happen. And I was
violent.
Like, yeah. And it was, yeah.
So I've read people before where, a woman has sat across from me and I got that card and I just intuitively, I said, someone just died an unnatural death. And she's like, my ex-fiance just jumped off the stratosphere and they had committed suicide the day before. And then she comes to me for a reading the next day. And that's the first card out. She couldn't even look at it. And it kept coming out in the reading. So I put it to the side. I was like, I can't even like have this out right now. The tarot has like the regular suit of, the minor arcana, which is like a deck of cards. Mm-hmm. And that has wands, cups, swords, pentacles.
Yeah.
And then the major arcana, which goes from 0 to 21. And that starts with the Fool. And it's the Fool's journey through life. And then he gets to the World, which is the completion of his life. And the tower is number 16. So it's further along in the Fool's journey. And that comes when, it comes after death, after temperance, after, we've been through some things. Mm-hmm. And when we get to the tower, I'm not scared of the tower. And in fact, like I've even like lit a candle with like the tower on it before. And I was like, blow it up, like I want to see the truth. Right. So like whatever is false, I want to be gone. But it can be like extremely intense.
Should we do a full reading right now?
What do you want to know?
I'm always obsessed with guys and love.
Oh, yeah.
And, business too. I want to know because I'm doing really well. And so I kind of want to see what's to come for me. I know every single time I do a reading with you, stuff just starts popping up and then there's more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Okay. So the intention behind it. So the first thing we'll ask, let's start with your love life.
Yeah. Always.
So we'll see like over the next few months, the next 3 months.
Yeah.
What is going to happen in Sapphire's love life? Like what do we need to see?
Let's see.
So we call on your ancestors, your higher self. I ask Spirit to rid me of my ego so I can be a clear and clean voice for Spirit. And I ask for messages for Sapphire's life, for the highest good of her soul, for the highest good of all. What does she need to know about her love life? Oh, fuck boy. First card out.
My
Sapphire. Okay. Oh, look at you. Oh, there's another guy.
I'm not even like... seeing anybody at all right now.
This is the future.
Okay.
Well, so there are 2 people who showed up. It shows one person from your past returning for sure. And that's the first one out. Well, also, this person is not like a serious relationship. And it really is the fuckboy card, which is the Knight of Wands, which I have a son who's a Leo and he's like, I'm not that, don't call me that.
Leos are always fuckboys.
Yeah.
Sorry, but they are.
Totally is. No, but still, so he's like out for the experience.
Cool.
That's really what he is, right?
That's no problem for me, right?
Yeah.
I'm really stable right now and grounded-ish.
Well, and it says maybe relationships have brought stress to you in the past, right? So the 10 of Wands can also show up next to this guy because he's a pain in the ass, right? So there's like this like stress around it. You have the King of Pentacles here, which actually could be your energy too, because you're the queen, right? So the king, you may embody this King of Pentacles energy, which is solid, it's sure of itself, taking calculated action. It's not taking any kind of risk, although the Fool is right underneath it. So
what does that mean?
Well, the Fool is no commitment. Yeah, it is a fresh start. But it's also like doesn't want their freedom threatened. So they're not going to like be around anybody that's going to do that. And what it says, the full-on message with the 7 of Cups is the outcome is that you have a lot of options and you're not choosing any particular one.
Yeah, I do actually. I have a lot of options right now. And I don't necessarily, like the first time ever in my life, I'm not like, how I used to be. Like I want a boyfriend, a husband so bad.
Yeah.
But like I feel really good. Like I actually feel like okay if I don't have a husband.
Well, that's usually like when it happens. It's like when the person comes in.
Yeah, right?
But it does, with the 8 of Pentacles here, like you're going through a major growth in your life and you're mastering relationships.
Yeah.
And in that mastery, like you don't have to choose anything. And you maybe will date someone here and there, but it doesn't show like a serious relationship coming into your life.
I don't want to be distracted from my work right now. And men distract me. They stress me out. So I'm happy to hear that, because they try to like pressure me into like
commitment. Maybe men have done that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they will.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because you've experienced, and that's what's getting in the way here, right? The 6 of Cups crossing the fuckboy is the looking back, the nostalgia, right? Like I'm looking back because I've experienced this. This is what it's going to be like. And that's not, you're recognizing your patterns, so you're not going to do that anymore.
Can we see who the fuckboy is that's coming in from my past? Because there's nobody from my past that I want to be around me. I want to make sure I cut him off now.
Let's see what they say about that. So what I would ask then is I'll say, what is in your highest and best good with your dating relationship life?
Okay.
And there's so many ways like I get into this, like the questions that I ask, that's like half of it, right? Because some people go on with no questions, which is totally fine. So then you're opening the door for me to pick out weird stuff, right?
No, I know.
It's like I've had a lady that Fool. Look at that, the Fool. And you had this one before too in your power position, which is like you may be like you could open up your energy a little bit more. That's interesting. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, okay. So you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about a fuckboy, right? Because like of who you are. Yeah. Like you don't have to trust anyone but yourself. And the masculine is the emperor. And that's what you really want to wait for is somebody that's going to step into that masculine role and not be some wish-washy little boy, right?
No, of course.
So, and that's what they say is that tells me like that could be like a foreigner man coming into your life.
Keep saying that?
The only thing I would say is like they do want you to stay open and to stay free and not to tighten your energy. Like you can tighten it up. You don't need to block anything. You can stay open, be curious. Curiosity is one of the most powerful things you can have. Be curious about who's showing up in your life.
Okay.
And the divine masculine, the emperor is what shows up here, which is what is in your highest and best good, which is having boundaries, having structures. Right before the emperor is the empress. So she's divinity and creativity, but creativity without the emperor can be destructive. So that's why we need the masculine. So they don't want you to throw out the masculine completely, but you only really respond to that energy, which is a man that knows what he wants.
No, of course. I'm very feminine. I need masculine.
And like you got to move forward. No looking in the past. And like, and then like you have to be, so that I think the Fool keeps coming out too, because it's going to feel like a risk to you when you do meet someone that you connect with, you know, because you're going to like, you don't want to bring in.
No,
you know,
I don't want to bring in somebody
relationships.
bad. Yeah. Man, I wonder who the person from the past is. It scares me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it to be.
You don't, well, you don't want to come from fear either.
Yeah. Well, I know, right? I know.
You don't have to like, well, they said who? Like,
Can we ask who it is? Do
you want to give me some names and I can...
Can we bleep it?
Yeah.
Can you do... Oh, and I also have another question about this guy that I used to see, like, he used to be like my sugar daddy type of thing, and he ruins all of my relationships, but not intentional. He just is like every time I end a relationship, it's because of him.
What does he do?
Like, he'll just text me, and like the guy will see the text or whatever, and then they'll be like fucking done with me over it. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Or like before, this is bad. This is TMI, but I did give him a blowjob on the sidewalk, and the guy that I was seeing had my location, but I didn't know, and that ended the relationship too.
Yeah.
So
that might happen. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but it's always like I keep getting sucked back into him, and I just recently not rekindled, but I saw him.
So this is an interesting thing, like this whole getting sucked back in and this whole thing. Like a lot of it is like, you know, there's a couple things that show up. If you have desire and then you have unmet desire, like you desire somebody and they're not coming towards you, that has an addictive quality to it. And then then that takes over your whole being and you can't see the forest for the trees. Like then like reality is like gone. And then there's like, you know, there's so much like propaganda out there about relationships and like the truth of them that like people will, you know, I have this attachment to this person, and that's why they keep, and it's the ego. The spirit is free. The spirit is, I'll be the door that you walk through. The ego attachment to it is the part that like, that will suck you in. That part.
Let's do bleep that, please. I just want to see about him, why he keeps coming back.
So I'll look at his intentions with you. So do you think his intentions like for a relationship with you?
No.
Okay.
But
just romantically.
I don't know. It's confusing.
Okay. What are his motives and intentions, thoughts and feelings towards Sapphire? Romantically, though, like I want to know towards Sapphire, what are his intentions with her? This is a great question to ask. It like is super accurate, I find. Well,
I mean, he waited a year to have sex with me, which is weird.
Look at all these nights. Oh, well, he puts you on a pedestal and you're a woman that he wants that he can't have.
Really?
And
I was not expecting that.
So he's going to definitely probably try to connect with you again. And it says like you bring him hope. Like he definitely like sees you as like you have the high priestess. I mean, she's the daughter of the moon, like the most secretive, seductive. I mean, that's like the Scorpio rising. Like that's the like pulling them in. So he's definitely taken by you. So it's interesting because you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. It's like the Knight of Pentacles is like reliable and he's not in a rush, but the Knight of Swords is in a rush. So that's in the future. So he's been sitting back. And it shows him getting ready to...
Interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
And you are terrified.
I am. I'm terrified, he said.
Well, so, okay.
I am scared of him.
Well, so we could do that for you towards him, too. But why are you scared? What are you scared about?
He just scares me. He overdrinks.
Oh.
I don't like that. So I don't like what he does for a living.
Let's see. Okay, so now I'm looking at what will happen like this year.
Okay, perfect.
Those are different questions, and that confuses people sometimes because they'll ask the intentions of somebody. They're like, number one, they'll give me their name, their birthday, and then they'll say POI, person of interest is so-and-so. What are his feelings towards me? And like his feelings might be to connect with them and they really like them. But like what will happen is it doesn't end up working out. Yeah. And so they'll get mad at me. They'll be like, well, you told me that he loves me. And I'm like, no, yes, but no. Wow, you keep getting a king as the first card out. Oh, look at that. I mean, he's probably definitely this summer, he's going to connect with you and you have to like block him.
I'm going to block him?
Yeah.
Why? He does something, huh?
There is some toxic energy like all around this. So I think you have some kind of pattern you do have a pattern with him and it's meant to end. Yeah. And so that's you ending it. You putting your sword up as the Queen of Swords. You're like, fuck that. And you're going to feel very victorious when you do this.
Is he going to do something that makes me block him?
He's just going to that shows like he's going to try to connect with you, send you a message,
Okay, but nothing crazy.
Well, you're coming into a spiritual awakening is what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure.
And your heart is, so the heart doesn't break, the ego breaks, the heart just opens and closes, and your heart is just, the more open your heart is, the more spiritual you are, the more that you experience. And that's where you, like, because of that awakening, that's the Queen of Swords. In the past, that's like maybe you've had like several people interested in you at once, and it shows like this competitive energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in the past. And now you're moving into this self-love where like you don't need that commotion around.
Yeah, I don't think he aligns with my self-love at all.
Mm-mm.
Well, then fine.
And also you as the hermit. My feeling, like, you're definitely not going to be like alone the rest of the year, maybe the next 3 months.
That's fine.
But I think there's like
a foreigner,
like a foreign daddy coming in.
I know you always say that. You always say it's a foreigner.
That's gonna like,
Should we ask about? That's his name, the one that always ruins my relationships. I want to know why.
Why he does that?
Why, or like, what's up? Why do I keep? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know why I keep letting him back in. What's my deal with him, and what's his deal with me too?
It's motives and intentions. Thoughts and feelings towards Sapphire. I shuffle a lot because I feel it's like stirring the cauldron.
Yeah,
it's
I like that. It's more calming.
Okay. First time there hasn't been a king out, so that's good. Wow, look at these cards.
I know, he's bad news, huh?
It's not bad. It's so wow, he's just a really interesting guy. He's good. He's meant to, like, he wants to stress you out. Mm-hmm. He's like he's a lot of work. Like, he's a lot. This energy is a lot. Usually, so if you have more than 5 major arcanas in a spread like that, they say that that's like fate. Like, that's like something that, but you don't have 5, you have 4. You almost had it. But he's manipulative, but he has a lot of doors that are opening for him. I mean, he looks at you like a lifelong friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you guys are going to be friends the rest of your life. You know, I think that there is like there's a purpose to your relationship. Like, there's an energetic purpose to it. And what is it? So, like, you keep going back, or he?
I don't know. Like, he's just my comfort, oddly.
Okay, so
like,
we should ask.
He makes me feel very comfortable, but he does stress me out like times 1,000.
That looks like it.
Yeah, like times 1,000.
Because the 10 of Wands is like, he's holding 10 wands and he's not looking, he can't even see where he's going, but he's holding the wands and he's walking. Yeah. And he's like, this is a pain in my ass and this is super stressful. So the next question I would ask, it's a question that I got from the I Ching Oracle, basically. So, like, in that tradition, you're only allowed to ask this once and you're never allowed to ask it again. Although, you know, everyone always asks a million times
okay.
But I like to do this question. So I'll say, is Philip a suitable partner for Sapphire? And what's in her highest and best good moving forward in this relationship? So this tells me like the best case, the best chance. That's karma. You need to do breath work or something.
Breath work, yeah.
There's some, so that's the Scorpio rising too. Like, the repressed emotions, they're like all in there.
Yeah.
You gotta you can't talk to him. You have to cut this.
Yeah.
Ace of Swords. Nope. You know, there's going to be someone else that comes into your life.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
And he's going to be out.
Yeah, for sure. No, I can't talk to him when I get another
this
boyfriend.
This has to be stopped, like,
now.
There's a lot of, this is interesting, like, he actually, like his energy towards you, like I said, isn't bad. It's not, it's a pain in the ass, but he has this intense energy. You guys in a relationship, like, this is actually sending you to a place it's like, this is taking you to not good places emotionally. Look at all the 5s. Like, you have 5, 5, 5. The 5s all have like an adolescent quality to them. They talk about like the repressed emotions from childhood. He's very triggering of your childhood.
Well, he's in his 50s.
Oh my God.
So it's like just like, I have daddy issues with him major.
Well, for sure, right? Well, so he's like bringing it all up. But so that's why this has to, like, this is like, off with his head.
Okay, good. I've never asked you about him, so I was curious. Yeah.
It's going to feel like you're abandoning him.
Oh, yeah. He's going to lose his shit.
Yeah, because he's going to feel like you kicked him out.
He's going
to be like, let me get married to you. And you're going to be like, fuck that.
Yeah, no, I know. He's going to lose his shit when I do that. But he deserves it. So.
you have to watch out for this. So like you're so aware and you're becoming more aware, but like you need to pay attention because with him, there is a pattern that you're not seeing.
No, I think I see it now.
You see it now. Yeah. You got to make sure because he might come back like.
It ruined another relationship.
Yeah.
Not happening. Damn. Well, I mean, that was all my questions.
Oh, yeah. Your career.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to see what will happen or you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say the end of 2024. What is the outcome of Sapphire's career? Show me what she needs to know about the path ahead.
Not the moon. Is that the moon?
I like the moon, though. It's a full moon today.
Oh, okay.
it's a lot of readers are scared of that card, and I'm not scared of it. It's like, how could I be, right? Like the moon is like mother, right? It's the real calendar system is the moon cycle. Wow.
Not the tower.
Well, I think from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, you're going to be like a totally changed person.
Yeah, I know.
And there are going to be some things that you're going to awaken to and some paths that you're going to be on. Your heart is more open, especially like, especially in relationships, like even, you know, some of these are like sexual cards. So like, changes in your, like, it's about like, you've been alone and it is probably going to spice up. In the next 13 months.
I've been like halfway celibate, like half. I know that doesn't really count, but like not as how I used to be. Like once, like I've only had 2 partners this year.
So, I mean, like, have you ever had like a spiritual experience while having sex?
No.
Yeah, well, that's probably on its way.
What does that mean? A spiritual experience?
Well, so like so your sacral chakra, your pelvic floor, right? There's this energy field there. And that's where intuition comes from. It's sexual. So like you start there and it rises through the crown of your head and you can activate this through sex.
Okay.
Like you can activate it. And usually you want to have one partner.
For sure. I don't want to have multiple partners.
Yeah.
Like that's not a thing for me right now.
But this is going to open you up. When I see that, I think of like you awakening to your purpose. And once you awaken and once you see, you're not going to be able, you just can't go back.
Yeah.
Like you can't unsee. You can't be less aware once you're aware.
Wow.
And you're also probably going to create that ripple for a lot of people, right? With your empowerment, you're going to empower so many others.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. And it's also like not being hard on yourself and loving yourself. And there could be changes in your values, you know, that affect your career.
Yeah. No, I see that because I'm really changing a lot.
It is a lot of work coming up, though.
Like that I have to do or like just like
physically, like I think you're just going to be really busy.
Yeah.
I wonder, like you would never have like, you don't do any like classes or anything.
Like,
I don't know. This keeps showing. Are you going to write a book or something?
No, you always say that for me though. And no, I don't do any classes or anything.
You should do
just
like a book for women.
Maybe,
like
right?
Like something, because this is about like having like if you think the moon is the first card out, so that's like your intuition. The moon is our mother, right? So like your cycles aligned with the moon cycle. With the Ace of Swords, that's like this intellectual clarity. And with this is you mastering your skills. Like this is like you writing anything of the mind, right? Writing.
Okay.
I mean, the podcast is part of it, but to me, that's like you might go through some things and then end up putting it down.
Yeah, I should, right? Damn. All right. I'll try it. Now start writing a book tonight.
Yeah.
Should we
This would be a great day to do it with the
full moon.
Yeah.
Should we do, what other questions do you think
people want to know?
Who I am or whatever? Because I know you always ask like who, like,
oh yeah, that's how I start the reading.
Yeah. Should we show them how that is?
Sure.
Like,
yeah. So think of abundance, right? Like abundance in all its many forms is a state of awareness. So like when you use tarot and you connect to yourself every day, you're expanding your awareness. And then you can tap into your inner resources, you know, your inner resources of creativity, intelligence, and, you know, all these things. So just like a daily, a daily spread, or like if you're reading somebody else and you just like want to get invited into their energy. So we'll say Sapphire. And I always think like the birthday, like your birthday is September 1st. So I'll say Sapphire, September 1st. And I energetically, so I'll see like a black screen, like a movie screen in my head. And as I'm shuffling, I'm looking at that screen and images and things will come through. Or I'll just see you and I'll see 9-1 so that I can identify your energy.
Okay. I have another good really question after this.
So I'll say, show me Sapphire. Show me who Sapphire is. And we don't know what it's going to say, right? So there's no good or bad. And then what I do...
I hope it's not the devil card.
We can confront him if it is.
Okay.
So we'll say, what does Sapphire think? What does Sapphire feel? Wow. So I go into the head space. So the head is a polarity organ. It sees duality. So it kind of tells me like where someone's thoughts, like how they're affecting their life and the way they go about things. You have the Six of Wands, which is a victory card. It's public recognition and fame.
Okay.
It's, and then you have the King of Swords in your heart space. So that's like a man, could be like your father. That actually would tell me, like, I think that's like a grandfather, like spirit that's with you in your heart space that's protecting you. Like I think of Archangel Michael as the King of Swords, you have this protection, the spiritual protection with you. But this is the Ten of Pentacles after that tells me that it's related to your ancestry, your family. What my first message to you would be that you're on the right track of like reaching all the goals that you want to reach, and that you do have somebody with you who's protecting you, keeping you on the right track too.
Nice. Okay, my last question is I had a friend, Chanel, that passed. I miss her and stuff, and I just want to,
You should get your cards out and pull a card.
Okay. So, wait, I got to try to shuffle them, right?
Mm-hmm. You can shuffle them any way you want, so you can do this.
Well, let me try it one more time. It was thumb on the top,
okay, thumb on top, middle finger on the bottom.
I'm not going to do that one.
You did a great job.
All right, and then split it 3 ways, right? And then put it back together, right?
So this is a tool that we'll use to help. You can connect with her at any time. So if you...
What is that?
I was going to say, we should ask if she's here, but you already... So you picked the 9 of Cups. That's like... Oh my goodness. You got the 9 and the 10 of Cups. It's your family.
I know.
Right. So 9 of Cups is... And the Page of Cups. So she's here and she says hello and brings you good luck and is always a part of your life.
Yeah, I know, right?
But that card, the card that you pulled, like I was going to say, I always will ask, like, is she here? Like, can we connect with her? And that's what I was thinking when you were shuffling. And the 9 of Cups is like the fairy godmother of the tarot. And it's the yes card out of 78 cards. That is the ultimate yes. And it's like a profound yes. And then you have the 10 of Cups, Page of Cups, which is like all the pages, they're kind of childlike. The Page of Cups is, but it's like a message of love that I'm saying hello. I'm saying hello to you. Like, I love you.
I know. I always wonder if she's mad at me because we got into a fight.
Pull a card for that. Ask her. She's not mad, but you can. Right? 4 of Wands. What was the fight about?
My ex-boyfriend, he kind of like plotted us against, like, he was just weird. Like, he just went through my phone and then told me that she told him that I was cheating. I was only telling her about it, so then I assumed that that was really real, but he really went through my phone. And then she passed, and then I couldn't, and then he told me that that's what he did, so I could never have like a conversation.
Pull one more.
She's mad, huh?
That's really, so that actually says, was there something like, look at all those wands. Was there something like at an event or something that happened? Did you get in a fight with her like at an event or?
I was just shooting. No, she lived in a different country. So no, we weren't. Yeah, no, it was just like a very chaotic fight with my ex. And then.
What was meant to happen and that happened?
What do you mean?
Like that was supposed to happen that way.
The fight?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
No. They say it was supposed to. Like, that's what the message is. That talks about, so that was interesting. So you pulled the 4 of Wands. Like, that is like, so there's multiple meanings to it, but I get curious. Like, I always, I'm never like, oh, that's not true or that's not, I get curious. And I go, why did she pull that? And so when I ask why, like, that's when messages and things will come through. The 4 of Wands, like, it can mean a lot of things. Like, usually it's like, it can mean film. It can mean festivals and things, marriages, people moving in together, multiple locations. Like there's something like it's usually like a group energy. And then you have the 5 right after. Like the overall message of it, though, whatever that was about, it says like it happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Maybe to teach me a lesson.
Yeah, it's karmic. But it was like, you were successful. Like it's a triumph over defeat, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. There was a huge production that I was shooting at that time, and I was just exhausted. I was like, I can't deal with this.
There's an influence of that in there, of something about that, like with because that's also, so that would be also like film or something like that because of the public thing.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. That's kind of sad. I just don't want her to be mad.
She's not mad. She loves you.
I think about it every day.
Really?
Yeah. No, I do. I'm like super mad at myself.
Well, that's where they were talking about, the tower in your career and the stuff moving forward is like, you can't be hard on yourself. Yeah. You can't, there's no like good or bad. It's just, you're just finding your way.
Yeah. I mean, it was my first ever best friend, like legit best friend. And she was the first ever person to show me like unconditional love and stuff. And I didn't do that in return. So I'm just, it will carry me. Yeah.
But there's also like the love that you're stepping into because of that situation.
Yeah, right.
Is like the blessing that you're.
I know. No, that's a hard lesson.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
I hope that you guys liked this reading, even though it kind of ended a little sad. It's not sad for me, but thank you, Heartbreakers. This is my favorite tarot card reader. I love you so much. Like every time I have an issue, I'm always like, should I just contact Lauren and do a reading? So
yeah. And you can contact me on my website, thewiseunicorn.com. And everything's in my link in bio in my Instagram, which my Instagram is Lauren, LAUREN .Noelle, NOELLE .Salgado, SALGADO. And I do yoga classes and breathwork events in Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah.
And, and I've been reading professionally since 2015, like most of my life, though I've been a reader, since I could speak. And so I've done hundreds of thousands of readings from people all over the world and have a lot of experience.
I'm one of them. It's so easy to book too, guys, because you literally just go on her thing and she has her calendar all up on there and it says all your available times. And then you just literally, that's how you do it. So super easy. Okay, thank you guys. Stay tuned for next time.